Hi everybody. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to turn credit into cash. And of course, when I say credit, we'll talk about credit card, right? Now, you don't want to get your personal credit card and turn it into cash. That is a disaster, okay? Because what's going to happen is when you get your credit and you spend the money on your credit card, or you use that credit for inventory, that money is going to be due. And you can't run a business paying 26%, 30% interest on a credit card and think you're going to make progress. There's just no way you're going to do that. And so what's going to happen is, let's say you have $5,000 credit, right? And then you use that credit line, right? You use 4,000 or whatever it is. That's you're using about 80% credit utilization on that credit card. It's going to be very hard for you to get another credit card, right? Can it be done? Yes. However, every time you get a credit card and you're maxing it out, it's going to be harder to get another one because lenders are looking at you and say, you know what, you're a risk, And so, how do we circumvent that situation? Because that's probably the reason why you're here. You're thinking, look, I've tried this credit card thing and now I'm now in debt. I'm trying to pay this thing off and I'm behind, right? And then you can go to a bank to ask for money for your business because they'll say, hey, are you making money? Let's look at your statement for the past 2 years and see whether you're profitable. And of course, you're not profitable, you're just trying to start. And so, how do you get funding for your business? Okay, this is what we're going to talk about. It still goes back to turning credit into cash. Now, it's not using your personal credit. We're talking about using business credit. And what we're going to talk to you about today is not something I heard about. It's not something that I just maybe read about. It's something that I've personally done for my business. And so it starts with having a business. And so what we're going to do is, the first thing you got to do is you have to have an LLC. Okay? You have to have a business. Without a business, what I'm going to tell you here is not going to work. You might as well just stop the video and move on to something else, that's of value to you. However, if you're interested in this, therefore, the first thing you got to do is you have to have a business. You have to register your LLC. Okay, that's what I did. After I registered my LLC and it's registered with your state, whatever state you're in, there's got to be a process to follow to register a business. Once you register a business, the federal government gives you an EIN number. That EIN number is like your social security card, the social security number that you use for tax purposes. Okay, that says, hey, so and so owns so and so entity or so and so entity. This is the number. This is how you pay taxes and things of that nature. So once you register an LLC, they will send you documentation for your business. Your state will send you documentation for your business. That documentation is what you take to your bank, right? One of these banks might be a credit union, doesn't matter what bank it is, might be, these big banks, Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo, name it, all right? And so once you get there, you talk to the banker and say, hey, look, I'd like to get a credit card. Okay, I'd like to apply for a credit card for my business. Well, they'll sit down with you and say, okay, so who is the owner of this business? You give them all your information. And once you do that, you also tell them, I will be guaranteeing this credit. Okay, you are, as the owner of the business, as the CEO of this business, you'll be guaranteeing that credit. Okay, and so the credit cards you're going to get in the name of your business are going to be guaranteed by you. Should anything happen, should you not be able to pay this business credit, you are liable. So you're taking on the liability. Okay, they're going to use your credit score, right? They're going to use your credit worthiness to determine whether they're going to give you this credit card. Now, if you have good credit, this is a great opportunity, because with your good credit, you guarantee this credit, and they'll give you credit cards. They'll give you business credit cards in your, not in your name, in your business name, and you as the guarantor. The beauty is none of this credit appears on your credit report. And so for my business, I was able to get $50,000. One bank gave me 10, one bank gave me 15, another bank gave me 5, 10, whatever it is. The sum of it added up to $50,000, and that's my first round. And so what happens to your credit when this is happening? Now today, before, it used to show, it might show on your credit report as a hard inquiry. Now, if you've been around in credit for a long time, you do understand there's a soft inquiry and the hard inquiry. Hard inquiry stays on your report for about 2 years and then it drops off. Okay, and so the more you do these, they're gonna have an impact on your credit score. Okay, now nowadays you can get a credit card without, they don't even run, I don't know how they do it, but it's not, doesn't reflect on your credit report as a hard inquiry. What does that mean? The more you keep on showing that you're looking for, you're shopping for credit, the more bankers or the more lenders are looking at you thinking, why are you so thirsty? You know what I'm saying? You're a credit risk at that point. They don't want to give you money because they're thinking, look, if you're so much in need of money, there must be something wrong going on there. You might not be able to pay back the debt. And therefore, that's the reason why you want to avoid so many hard inquiries on your credit report. Now, the beauty about the other side of this is that when you get this credit, let's say that $50,000 worth of credit cards that I got in my business name, it doesn't, none of it reflects on my personal credit report. It's not on there. Therefore, I can use 90% of the debt, my business debt, okay? My credit utilization can be 90%, but it doesn't show on here, which allows me to go on shopping for credit if I wanted more, okay? Because it doesn't reflect on here. It doesn't show that I'm actually using that debt. That is the beauty. You can't do that with your personal credit, because your personal credit, the debt that you know, if you use the credit cards and everything else, that credit utilization is part of your credit score. And the more you use your credit cards, let's say you're using 90%, it's going to have an impact on your credit score. Your credit score will drop. If your credit score drops, it becomes very hard for you to get more credit. What you want is to maintain your credit score above at least 750. Okay, there's no reason why you shouldn't be having a credit score of 750. You should be having a credit score of above 750 if you know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, or if you don't know how, or you're like me who once upon a time had a credit score of 4 something, okay, a few years ago, having belted from 4 something to 750 plus, excellent credit, pretty much almost 800, okay, I can show you how to do that. And with that kind of credit, you're able to leverage your credit to get business credit. And once you get that credit, of course, now that you have these credit cards, how do we convert those credit cards into cash? Because that's what this video is about. Okay, so you're gonna get that credit, of course, and then you're gonna purchase your inventory using that credit. Hopefully you're not purchasing liabilities. You don't go out there trying to buy Gucci purse and all that stuff, and you start spending your business credit on liabilities. That's not the point of this video. The point of what we're trying to learn here is that you use that credit to purchase inventory for your business. Okay, it's working capital. You need that money to purchase goods. Okay, once you sell those goods, the beauty about getting credit, usually banks give you up to 18 months interest free. You're not gonna find anybody who's gonna loan you money for free for 18 months. It's just not there. There's nobody there. Maybe your grandfather can do it, but most people are not gonna loan you money at 0% for 18 months. So it's a beautiful incentive that most banks, when you first open your a credit card, even a personal business or whatever it is, they will give you an incentive for 18 months where you don't pay anything. That's what you want to take advantage of. You want to take advantage of that 18 months of zero interest. You're hoping, okay, you're taking a risk, okay, you're betting that, look, I'll be profitable in 18 months so that I can pay back this debt with no interest. It is risky. 90% plus businesses fail. That's just the way it is. Okay? 90% plus businesses fail. You have to have that in mind, that your business may fail. And if it fails, you're on the hook for whatever money you've spent on those credit cards, and now you're liable. You have to pay it back. If the 18 months kicks in, the 18 months lapses and the interest kicks in, now you got to pay back this money that you borrowed. Let's say they were able to give you $50,000 also. Now you have to pay back 25% interest, 30% interest. That is a lot of money. Okay, that is a lot of money. $12,000 to $13,000 a year just in interest off of that money that you borrowed. You can make progress. Because most businesses, great businesses, return about 23% every year. If your business is doing 23% every year, you're doing good, right? This is in profit. And if you're getting that profit, okay, with 23% growth, and you're getting that money and paying it to 25%, 26% debt, you're not gonna make progress. You might as well just shut down that business, because you can't get ahead in that situation. And to think that your business is gonna be, it's gonna be profitable, creating 30% profits or whatever it is that is a big ask. Can it be done? Yes, of course, a lot of businesses can do that, but I'm just saying that borrowing money at 26, 30% and hoping to stay in business is just very expensive. It doesn't make any sense. So what I'm telling you, turning credit into cash, should only work, or should only be used rather, if you're planning on doing the 18 months thing, like I've said, because then you have 0%. After that, don't even consider it. It's going to be very expensive. And also, we're banking on the fact that you believe in your business proposal, you believe in your business plan, you believe in your analysis, you believe in your market research, you've done all the homework. Okay, you've done all the homework, and you have the belief that this business is going to work. You've measured the risk, and when you add up the risk and everything else, you think you're going to make a profit, and therefore it makes sense that you go this route. And so that's how you turn credit into cash. I should have called it how you turn business credit into cash, because there's no reason why you should be borrowing money using using personal debt or personal credit, card debt, to finance liabilities. There's no reason why you should be borrowing money to finance liabilities. Absolutely no reason why. That's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe that's not gonna take you anywhere. Debt is not good in any form. Of course, there's good credit, there's good debt, and bad debt. In my world, most debt is bad, period, right? Now, there's the ones we consider good debt. It's pretty much leverage, right? You use money you use debt to create wealth. Of course, that's all in real estate, right? You borrow money to buy a piece of property, and then through the rents you pay the mortgage and everything else, and you're still left with the properties to cash flows. Yes, that makes sense. But for the most part, debt is not a good thing. Great companies are not over leveraged, and good money managers will tell you you don't want to be over leveraged. And so I would only use this method, okay? Because what I gotta tell you guys what I believe, and what is good for me, I believe should be good for you. And so My advice will be you only use this route if everything else has failed. Okay, you only use the debt route if everything else has failed. Otherwise, my advice to you will be, look, find other means of bootstrapping your business. The debt should not be your first resort. It's gonna mess you up. It's gonna mess you up, and I have to be very upfront with you, as in, yes, does it work? This method works. I've tried it before. It's worked for me, but I'll be remiss if I just tell you and say, hey, go do this, because that's not for everybody. You have to be disciplined for you to be able to manage debt. Debt is something that you have to be very careful how you manage it. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about being debt free. I'm very passionate about not carrying consumer debt. I'm very passionate about just not being in debt, because the borrower, as scripture says somewhere, the borrower is a slave to the lender. Okay, I don't care whether it's business credit, or whatever you want to call it. The borrower is a slave to the lender. And I wouldn't want to do that to you guys. I think you're very important to me, and therefore the advice I give you, I have to also give you the bad side, as in, you don't want to be nobody's slave, right? You don't want to be nobody's slave. You don't want to be a slave to the bank. You don't want to be a slave to anybody else. Yours is to prosper, and if you can do that without debt, that's the best place to be. But anyway, let me get off this my soapbox and just tell you and say that's how you turn business credit into cash. If you like this content, guys, go ahead and subscribe. Leave your comments below if you have better ways of getting credit or turning credit into cash. Let's learn from each other. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.